Welcome everyone to the Goddess Temple. My name is Chris, and for today's video, what I have coming through is this little, let's just say it's a bit of an emotional rage, right? It's this rage that everything that you've done, you've tried your best to do things a certain way, to be a certain way, to, find a solution for something that you want the best for you and someone else, right? It's a dynamic, whether it be family, friends, with the self, whatever it is, lovers, whatever it is, it's this energy that you put behind trying to find a solution. And then from that little place, you notice that what you've set up, what you've put together, what you've worked for, what you've tried, what you've accumulated, all the skills, the little nuances, the little, in-depth study and figuring out and problem solving. You've actually put in all the work that you needed to make it happen, to find that solution, to set up the scene, to improve yourself in a way that, it can't be deemed in any inappropriate way, or it's not going to be misunderstood or misaligned. And then you realize that, what the heck? Why have you been doing that? Why have you been construing yourself and making yourself just not you anymore? You're not even you. You're not even recognizable anymore. You don't even notice who you are. You can't even recognize who you are. And so it's this frustration that just rages. And you eventually learn it's not enough for you to rage and draw boundaries with someone. It's not enough anymore. It's that you've made yourself a certain way so someone can be welcomed in and co-create with you. But the thing is, this person isn't ready to co-create with you. These people are not ready for that. And so, why not open yourself up and set yourself up in a way where you can be open and receptive to people that are ready for it? For you to not want to do it with the people that you have intended to do it with, let them go on their own journey and come back to you in the way that they will and whenever they will. But it's allowing yourself to really step into you and to say, I am ready to co create. I am ready to take what I have learned, all the skills, all the tools that I have, and build a world and be in a part of a world, an active participant in a world that is receptive to what I have to offer, of my magic, of who I am, of my essence, of my trueness, of someone that not don't need to have them hold me, but just to be present and available and conscious of me, and to challenge me to grow, to expand, to build, to develop in a way that allows me to thrive and that also allows them to thrive. And there is this flow of both of you simultaneously thriving and yet building each other up. It's no more of breaking each other down, justifying why you're doing what you're doing, but to know that what you are moving towards, that there is a justification to it, that it is valid and valuable, and that the thing is, it's about getting creative with your words, about getting creative with your intention, about truly understanding from what perspective you have been showing up, and to not to jump to finding the solution and the answers to why you're doing what you're doing and that it is valid, but um just to really give yourself time to actually reflect on your intentions and how does it come off your messaging, your intentions, the way it's is it, are you imposing yourself onto someone, or are they imposing themselves onto you, or have you been um tweaking and making your words and your sounds and your ideology small and look a certain way so people around you, and so it can be palatable for them. Like, to what extent have you been actually playing it small? To what extent have you been being so tiny in your magic, in your essence, in your expression, your natural expression, your purposeful expression? This impulse of how you want to co create with life and how you want to even be a part of society and community and to be an active participant in it. What does that actually look like? And to know that any of these stories, they're the moment you start asking yourself this, even just coming across this video, the moment you lean into this, your whole ideology and the way that you've been moving through life, your perception of life, it's changed. It's no longer what it was, and it can no longer continue to move forward in the way that it has been. And so, this, I can't say that you're stuck in it, but it's that you have no choice but to move forward. You have no choice but to do the thing that is just a faint little expression and desire that you're like, okay, fine, I'm doing it. I don't have all the pieces, but I'm going to take one step at a time. I'm going to work through the emotions. I'm going to work through the stories. I'm going to work through whatever and everything that it is. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to be pushing people's buttons. I'm going to be pushing my own buttons and pushing my edges. But at some point, I'm going to have to get the hang of it. At some point, this way of being, this way of moving, this way of living, this way of expressing, this part of me, this is what life is. This is me being alive, and I say heck yes to life. I welcome life in, and it feels like I am welcoming life in with being so guarded. And at the same time, it's like I have no idea how to step into this because it scares me deeply leaning into it. I don't know if it's going to work out. I don't know if I'm going to succeed. I don't know if I'm going to be supported financially, emotionally, physically. Will I have food on the table? Like, will I have a home to go to? Will my basic needs be met? And if you're stepping into a life that you want and truly doing what you need to, do what's necessary for you to understand that you are leaning into your most abundant self and that your needs are met. Whatever it takes for you to understand that your needs will always be met and that your attention does go to the basic needs that you have. Because why? It allows you to live, to thrive. It's the base foundation for everything else in your life. It's the base foundation for the relationship that you even have with your family, with your friends, with your lover, with your work. It's your basic needs always have to be met. And there is no scheming to make it happen. You don't have to scheme to make it happen. It happens. Your basic needs will always be met, and it just happens. There is no figuring out if it'll work. You know that it will, because why? You know that no matter what, it means so much more for you to live and to thrive in your abundance, in your holiness, than it is for you to put down the force, the shield that you have, and be ripped bare. I slightly lost my train of thought, so I hope that made sense, and I'm gonna keep speaking and see where else this message goes. But yes, it is quite vulnerable when you step into living life for yourself, when you step into your means of survival, your means of being met, of your means of being fed, of being housed, has been from playing the role that you have been playing, has been from the role that you've been playing as a provider, as a emotional support, as a as a codependent. And that ripping this out, taking your role out of this, not only does it make you vulnerable, it also makes that relationship, that partnership also just as equally vulnerable. And they feel that, they know that. We don't know how to articulate it sometimes, and it just becomes chaotic. But everyone has in their own way good intentions, but it does get messy when emotions get involved, when old stories and old patterns just kind of resurface again. And it's not your fault for triggering someone to a certain extent. Of course, take responsibility for the words that come out of your mouth, but don't be afraid to. Sometimes you actually do need to trigger someone just because it's the truth that needs to come out. And sometimes it's just that the people around you may not see to what extent that they have caged you, that they have shaped and molded you to be a certain type of person. And so the moment that you choose, do, feel, express, experience differently, that they're like, I don't know how you fit into this world, and so you shouldn't change, choose different. No, none of that. You should be exactly this, and anything other than is an absolute no. And I don't want you in my life because I don't know, you serve no purpose for me. You have no purpose. You serve nothing for me if you are any different than what you choose to be. Leaning into that, it allows you to see a little bit more of how to navigate through your own internal battles. And this reminds me of the Bhagavad Gita and how that book is quite potent, and it teaches you how to navigate through this internal battle, this internal conflict. So with that, I'm going to leave the message here. I wish you guys all the best, and I will speak to you soon.